Hello students. In this class, let us discuss about some terminologies and about phylum Porifera, characteristic features of phylum Porifera and examples. Already we have discussed about notochord, segmentation, presence or absence of coelom, diploblastic or triploblastic animals, then type of symmetry, then level of organization. Based on these characteristic features, animals were classified into various groups. Some other characteristic features of animals based on which also animals are classified, such as incomplete and complete digestive system. Incomplete and complete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system and complete digestive system. Incomplete digestive system means digestive system is having only one opening. In case of incomplete digestive system, only one opening is present in the digestive system, and that single opening serves as both mouth and anus. In the digestive system of an organism, suppose only one opening is present, and through that single opening only food enters the body, as well as the removal of the waste or removal of the fecal matter takes place. That is called incomplete digestive system. Only one opening or single opening is present. Complete digestive system. Complete digestive system means having digestive system having two openings. Digestive system having two openings. One opening serves as a mouth through which food enters the body, and another opening serves as anus. Through the anus, the waste substances goes out of the body. In case of human beings or in higher animals, complete digestive system is present. Complete digestive system is present in higher animals, including human beings. Means in our body, mouth is present and anus. Two openings are present. Through the mouth, food enters the body. Through the anus, the waste or the fecal matter goes out of the body. Then, about circulatory system. In case of circulatory system, there are two types. In case of circulatory system, this is in case of digestive system. Digestive system includes two types such as incomplete and complete, whereas in case of circulatory system, two types are there, that is open type of circulatory system and closed type. Open type of circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system and closed type of circulatory system are the two types of circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system means here heart is present, that heart pumps the blood, but the blood pumped by the heart directly baths the tissues. Means in case of animals having open type of circulatory system, blood vessels are absent. Blood vessels are absent. Hence, heart pumps the blood, and the blood pumped by the heart directly baths the tissues. There is no blood vessels. Heart pumps the blood, that blood directly reach all parts of the body. there is no any tubes or there is no any vessels. But in case of closed type of circulatory system, here blood vessels are present. Blood vessels are present or tubes are present. Means the blood pumped by the heart passes through the blood vessels to various parts of the body. Blood pumped by the heart passes or reach the different parts of the body through the vessels. For example, this is the heart. It pumps the blood. The blood pumped by the heart. Reach the different parts of the body through the blood vessels. Inside the blood vessel, blood passes. Inside the blood vessels, blood passes and reach different parts. For example, it reaches the kidney or it reaches any other part like brain, lungs, any part of the body. Clear? But in case of open type of circulatory system, the blood pumped by the heart, directly bars the tissues. Directly it reaches the tissues. Here tissues are present. These are group of cells. Consider these are group of cells. The blood pumped by the heart directly reaches the tissues. There is no any closed system for the passage of blood. This is open. This is closed. The blood pumped by the heart reach the different parts of the body like legs, arms or toes or head region or any digestive part, any part of the body through the blood vessels. This is closed type. Closed type of circulatory system is present in higher level of animals. Then fertilization. There are two types of fertilization. One is internal and another one is external. Internal fertilization and external fertilization. Internal fertilization means internal, inside, means the fusion of egg and sperm. Fusion of egg and sperm is nothing but fertilization. The process of fusion of egg and sperm or female and male gamete. Fusion of female and male gamete is called as fertilization. Suppose the fusion of male and female gamete, sperm and egg, takes place inside the female body. Then it is called as internal fertilization. Fusion of egg and sperm takes place inside the female body. Is called internal fertilization. External fertilization. External means outside. Fusion of egg and sperm takes place outside the female body. Means fusion of egg and sperm may take place in water. It may take place in water or it may take place in moist soil. Then it is called as external fertilization. Internal fertilization is common in higher animals including human beings. In human beings, fusion of egg and sperm takes place inside the female body. So it is internal fertilization. Whereas in case of frog, amphibians, fusion of egg and sperm takes place outside the body. Usually that takes place in water. Means male frog releases sperms into water, female frog releases egg into water, and in that water fusion of sperm as well as egg takes place. That is called external fertilization. There are two types in case of fertilization. Then development. Development. There are two types of development. There are two types of development. One is direct development and another one is indirect development. One is direct development and another one is indirect development. There are two types of development, direct and indirect. Direct development means after fertilization, directly young one is developed. There is no larva stage or no pupa stage. If larva, pupa, such intermediate stages are absent, then that is called as direct development. For example, in case of human beings, there is no larva stages or no pupa stages during the development of fetus. Fetus develops inside the mother's womb or inside the uterus of the mother. There is no larva or pupa stage. But in case of insects, in case of butterfly, or in case of some insects, or in case of frog, you might have seen the developmental stages like larva, pupa stage, insect comes out of the pupa. This is called as indirect development. If there is a larva or pupa stages during the development of the young one, then it is called as indirect development. If young one is developed directly without any larva or pupa stage, then it is called as direct development. Then, in case of digestion, there are two types. In case of digestion, there are two types. One is intracellular digestion and another one is extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion means intra means inside, inter means in between, I-N-T-E-R, inter means in between, I-N-T-R-A, intra, I-N-T-R-A or intra means inside. Intracellular digestion means inside the cell digestion of food takes place. Intracellular digestion. Intra means inside the cell, digestion of food takes place. Means there is no well-developed digestive system in some organisms. In such conditions, the food consumed by the organism is brought into the cell, and inside the cell, the digestion of food takes place. That is called intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. If digestion of food takes place inside the cell, then it is called intracellular digestion. Because here digestive system or digestive tract is absent. Then extracellular digestion. Extra means outside. Extra means outside. Outside the cell, digestion of food takes place. Means sometimes some organisms release the digestive enzyme over the cell membrane of the food outside the wall. Consider this is the organism. This is the organism, and these are the food molecules. These are the food molecules. This is the organism. These are the food molecules. And now, say these food food molecules are present outside the body of an organism. Food molecules are present outside the body. Now, this organism releases some digestive enzymes. First, this organism releases the digestive enzyme over the cell membrane of the food. Consider these are digestive enzymes. These are digestive enzymes. These are the enzymes produced by this animal or this organism, and these enzymes are now released over the cell membrane of the food. Here, outside the body only, the digestion of food takes place. After the digestion of food, this animal consumes the digested food. Before the intake of food itself, the digestion of food takes place outside the cell or outside the body of an organism. That is called extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion means here organism consume the food. Organism consume the food, and inside the body of an organism there is no digestive system or no digestive tract, but the food is brought into the cell of the organism, and inside the cell the digestion of food takes place. After digestion, what happens? The complex food molecule breaks down into simpler one. Complex food substance breaks down into simpler one. This is about two types of digestion: intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. Two types of digestion. You should know all these terminologies before discussing about the classification of animals. These terminologies are important. What is symmetry, type of symmetry, diploblastic animals, triploblastic animals, then about coelom, type of digestive system, open type of circulatory system, closed type of circulatory system. You should know all these terminologies, because now after this we are going to study about classification of animals, which includes various phylum. While discussing about the characteristic feature of phylum, just I am going to mention the terminology. You should know the meaning of each and every terms what we have discussed. So first you have to read all these concepts. The first phylum, classification of animals. Classification of animals. The first one is phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera is the first phylum which comes under non-chordates. First here we are going to study about non-chordates. Non-chordates means organisms in which notochord is absent. Organisms in which notochord is absent are called as non-chordates. Chordates are the organisms which possess notochord. Chordates means they possess notochord. Non-chordates means in which notochord is absent. First we are going to study about non-chordates. Non-chordates. In that, first one is phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera, the members of phylum Porifera are commonly called as sponges. They are commonly called as sponges. Here just we are going to study few characteristic features, about 8 to 10 characters, then 2 to 3 examples. They are commonly called as sponges, and they are usually present in water, marine water. They are commonly called as sponges, sponge-like body, and they are present in marine water. Marine water means salt water. And the phylum Porifera includes primitive multicellular organisms. It includes primitive multicellular organisms. Multicellular means made up of many cells. Primitive means not well done. Body structure is very simple body structure. Then members of phylum Porifera exhibit usually cellular level of organization. They exhibit cellular level of organization, means cells are present. When the cells perform the particular function, tissues are absent, organs are absent, organ systems are absent because they are primitive, not well developed. They exhibit cellular level of organization. Then they are asymmetrical. They are asymmetrical. Asymmetrical means any plane passing through the central axis of the body cannot divide the organism into two equal halves. Any plane passing through the central axis of the body cannot divide the organism into two equal halves. Then it is called asymmetrical. These organisms are asymmetrical. Exhibit cellular level of organization. Then the important characteristic feature or unique characteristic feature of phylum Porifera is presence of water transport system. In case of Porifera, water transport or water canal system is present. In case of Porifera, water transport or water canal system is present. Water transport or water canal system is present. This is the defining feature or unique characteristic feature of phylum Porifera. Special feature of phylum Porifera. Presence of water transport or water canal system. Here, water enters the body. In case of sponges, water enters the body through in case of sponges, water enters the body through ostia. Means water canal or water transport system is present. Here water enters the body. Consider this is the body of sponge. Then water enters the body through ostia. Ostia are the minute pores. Means this is a sponge. Okay. Throughout their body surface, here, minute pores. Pores means small holes. Like this, many pores are present throughout their body. So these pores are called as ostia. Through the ostia, water enters the body. Water they are present in marine water. So water enters the body of the sponges through the ostia or the minute pores present on their body surface. Then water reach the central cavity. Water reach the central cavity called spongocoel. Water enters the body through minute pores called ostia. Then they reach the central cavity called spongiocele. Then water leaves or water goes out of the body through osculum. Water goes out of the body through osculum. Water enters the body through minute pores called ostia. Then they reach the central cavity called spongiocele. Cele, C-O-E-L means cavity. Cele means cavity. The central cavity present in the body of sponges, spongiocele. Then water leaves the body or goes out of the body through another opening, that is called osculum. The main function of this water canal or water transport system is water canal or water transport system is helpful in food gathering. Water canal system is helpful in food gathering. Gathering means intake of food. Then it also helpful in exchange of gases or respiratory exchange. It is also helpful in respiratory exchanges, means exchange of gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and removal of waste. Removal of waste, unwanted things. The main functions of water canal or water transport system are food gathering, respiratory exchange or exchange of gases, and removal of waste. These are the functions of water canal or water transport system in case of porifera. Then the water canal system and spongiocele. Water canal system and spongiocele, central cavity, is covered or it is enclosed by collar cells. These are enclosed by collar cells. This is the another unique feature of porifera, a defining characteristic feature of porifera. One is presence of water transport or water canal system, and another one is collar cells. Water canal system and spongiocele both are lined or covered by special type of cells called collar cells. Then the body of the sponges are supported by internal skeleton, endoskeleton. Body of the sponges is supported by internal skeleton or endoskeleton made up of spongy fibers. Body is supported by internal skeleton or endoskeleton, which is made up of, skeleton is made up of spongy fibers. Then about sexes. Sponges are hermaphrodite. Sponges are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites means sexes are not separate. There is no male sponge or female sponge. We cannot identify or we cannot differentiate as one as male and another as female because sexes are not separate. In case of sponges, sexes are not separate. That condition is called as hermaphrodite. What are hermaphrodites? One more question. Hermaphrodites means if sexes are not separate in an organism, then they are called as hermaphrodites. Then both the gametes, egg and sperms, are produced within the body of single organism. Because they are hermaphrodite, sexes are not separate. Hence, both egg and sperm, eggs and sperms are produced inside the body of single organism. Single organism means, consider this is a sponge, this is one sponge. Inside the body of this sponge only both male and female gametes. Both male and female gamete. Consider this is the male gamete and this one is the female gamete. Both the gametes, egg and sperms, are produced inside the body of single organism. Hence it is called as hermaphrodite, or sexes are not separate in case of porifera or in case of sponges. Then fertilization. Fertilization is internal. Fertilization is internal, then development is indirect. Fertilization is internal, then development is indirect. Indirect type of development means here larval stage is present. Larval stage is present in case of porifera. During the development of the young one, we can observe the larval stage. Hence, this development is called as indirect. And about reproduction, sponges shows both asexual and sexual type of reproduction. They reproduce both asexual and sexual type of reproduction. They reproduce asexually as well as sexually. Then examples. Examples for porifera: Sycon, Euspongia. Sycon, then Euspongia are the two examples for phylum Porifera. This is about phylum Porifera and examples. We have to read these features today itself. In the next class, we will discuss about phylum Coelenterata, Cnidaria, and if possible about Platyhelminthes. Thank you.